Hello and welcome to Equine Voices. My name is Ronnie, an intuitive equine communicator. I'd like to talk to you today. So it's just a little hello and a short chat about intuitive guidance and what does this mean? Because quite often I know when I go see a client what that entails and the experience, but sometimes I forget my clients have no idea what's going to happen. They have a few preconceptions, but they don't actually know how it works when I come to visit them. So basically, when I go, if a client calls me and says, "Would you come and see my horse?" I ask for no information. I don't want any information apart from the name of the horse and sometimes the age. And the reason I want the age is because the energy that I pick up on can sometimes not be a true picture of what visual. So it can be an older horse, but the energy could be younger. And it can be a young horse and the energy can be a lot older. You can also get a gelding that has a more feminine energy and vice versa. So I just like to have an idea of who I'm talking to, because I like to call them by their name, and their age, and obviously the sex. So it gives me a better picture of the energy that I'm picking up. But the reason I've come on today is I'd like to talk. I've got my little list here so I don't forget, because I go off track sometimes. Is intuitive guidance. What is this? What is it? So I work with horses because of my own horse. So she was the big push that got me into animal communication. And before then, I used to belong to meditation groups, spiritual groups. And it was just like-minded people that used to meet up and just chat about things and just have fun, really have fun with it. It wasn't a serious thing, although we took it seriously. It was to practice and to see where it would take you. And the word meditation, as soon as I said meditation, it's like, oh, I can't do meditation. I have to sit for too long and concentrate. But actually, that's not what a meditation is. You don't have to concentrate. In fact, the less you concentrate, the better it is. Because you're freeing up your mind. But that's a whole nother story. So from this, I found that where I needed to go out and practice on my own. And that's what I did. So I went off and I practiced communicating with horses. And it started with sitting in a field, taking a notebook and just seeing what came into my head and writing whatever came in down, and not letting my rational head sort of make judgments of it or put its own pitch on it. It was just purely what came through. And to my amazement, the information that came through was relevant. And it was, to start with, like just chit chat and basic stuff. So it's moved on quite a bit from there. So I do still get that, but it's more to do with the silence, communication, and the gut feeling and the just knowing which comes from that. But that could be a whole episode to talk about as well. What I wanted to say was that we are all capable of doing this. Every one of you are capable of doing this. It's not a magical gift that a few people possess. We're all capable, and it's within us all. We're born with it. We're born with intuitive guidance. You can call it your gut feeling, that hunch, whatever. We're born with it. As we get older, we can lose sight of it because we are taught that sometimes listening to things in your head don't exist, depending on your background, where you're from, what your parents believed. It all has it all adds to what happens when you get older. It all adds to which direction you go, obviously. But the guidance is always there, and some people are aware of it from when they're really young, and they stay with it. It stays with them so strongly that it's just there continually. And other people suppress it, or it just stays in the background, and then they forget it's there. They don't realize it's there. So what I'm trying to say is, it is something we all possess, and it doesn't take a lot to just reignite it, and you're remembering what's already there. So it's not so much learning, although you are learning, you're remembering what's there, and you're getting used to the feel of how that works. And it can be a bit of a strange thing because there's nobody else that can tell you what it is. They can guide you and they can give you examples, but your intuition is your intuition for a reason. But playing around with it is the way that you get to find out how it works. So for me, the desire, so it was sort of, it was there anyway, and it was coming through the circles that I went to, the mediumship circles, the meditation circles. So it was more in the forefront there. But for me, where I needed to go wasn't taking me there. So I took myself off. So even though I'm influenced and by external, when I conversations and looking at other people that do similar work, my own guidance is my own training. So I'm self-taught, but that doesn't mean to say that I'm not enlightened by other people that do the same thing. But I'm not following somebody else's way of working. I'm following my way of working, my guidance. And for me, that's important. And I did struggle with that for a while, because to start with, you think, who are you to say that you can do this? Who's going to listen to you? And that's a cheek little voices in your head. Who's going to believe you? But unless you put that foot through the door and take that first step and try it, you're never going to know. And you have to, that's where courage comes in. And you just have to be brave and just go out there and try it. So for me, going out and practicing with horses in fields, I had nothing to lose. If it didn't go anywhere, then, it doesn't matter. And I can talk to strangers easier than I can talk to close people sometimes. So if I say something and it didn't mean anything, that's fine. Obviously, you're hoping it is because you're trying to learn. And like I said, I was very surprised when it did. And it's something I use all the time. So it's not something I use when I'm working and then that's it, I switch the switch and I'm back to me. It's something I use all the time. And the more I use it, the more I listen to it, the more and quicker things happen. So when you start to work with your own guidance, so it doesn't have to be with horses. This can be about for your life. This can be about how do I know what I'm supposed to be doing? Or, I'm getting up in the morning, I'm doing the same thing every day, and I just feel like I'm going through the motions, which lots of us do. And don't get me wrong, when you start listening to your gut, it's not a rainbow and sunshine everyday moment, by all means, but the majority of it, whatever the outcome, I would rather be here than where I was in the past of not listening. And sometimes you think, why is it taking me here? Why is my guidance taking me here? I have no idea what I'm doing. It feels like a dead end. I don't know why I'm here. Because sometimes it's just a time frame. I hope I'm making sense, by the way. It's a time frame of playing around with your own guidance, letting it lead you somewhere. Feel what that's like. Just getting used to it, and then moving on to the next stage, the next place. If I said it doesn't give you all the answers, basically, you don't go, what should I be doing? Should I be doing this or should I be doing that? Then it's not going to be somebody that says, you should be doing this, you should be doing that. Because it's trusting that you feel you should be doing that. Okay, so if you get this feeling, say a job came along and you go, it's not what I want, but for some reason I feel really impelled to take it. I feel that I need to take this job. And then you take the job, and then through that, whether you stay there or not, it might be a doorway to somewhere else. And if you hadn't taken that job, that wouldn't have led you to this other place, which is more of where you'd like to be. Not the end place, but more of what you'd like. So playing around with your own guidance is the only way you are going to learn what it is for you. So you can, like I said, you can have guidance, and you can have direction, but the feel of what you're getting and what's your truth and what's right for you is only by listening to you, listening to your gut and being more aware of it. And sometimes it's not instant, sometimes it's not an instant answer. You almost have to put it out there, get on with your day, and then it comes to you later. Sometimes it comes to you when you're just about to go to bed, or when you wake up in the morning, you get a light bulb moment, or you get something in your head, and then what happens is you carry on with your day and you forget about that. So a good idea is to keep a notebook by your bed and just write down whatever comes in your head, or just write it in your phone, or whatever's, just make a note of it, mental note of it. Sometimes it's like, oh, I must ring so and so today. And then you ring him up and you've maybe not spoken to him for a while, and you find out that they've been a bit low or something's happened, and you think, oh, do you know what? I knew I should have rang them before. So that's your guidance. And like I said, it's everybody's capable of this. How much and how far you take it is entirely up to you, but we're all capable of it. And animals are very much in the moment, and and horses especially, they're strong beings of energy, and what they show you is sometimes a reflection of what's going on with you, but they're very truthful. They don't pretend that they're happy. If you look at a horse and they're going through and they're doing their stuff and they're going through the motions, and you look at them sometimes and you think, well, they're doing that, but they're not actually, they're almost not there. They sort of switch off a little bit, because they're just so used to doing that routine. When you start to look at them differently and you start to see the subtle signs, and if you talk to them in your mind when you're with them, if you notice that and you talk, if you see a horse and you start to chat and say, how are you? So you're not asking him to do, I'm not talking about, I want you to do this, because that's a command and you're asking something. This is just saying, how are you? And even if that horse is busy doing something or riding, just watch them and see what happens. See if their ears move. See if their ears are still paying attention, but one's flicking towards you. See if you can feel something from them, if you can sense something. And again, it doesn't matter if you think it's your imagination. It doesn't matter. If this is what you're doing to practice, that's just, you just go with the flow. See what happens. Best way to practice is if you get the chance to just sit next to a field of horses, or if it's your horse, sit outside your stable, wherever, sit with your horse and just watch and just observe them, but try and sense them, sense what they're feeling, sense the energy around them. How are you feeling? So you might not know it's their energy. So take a note of how you feel. Take a note of how you feel before you go. If you've got an aching pain, if you've got a stiff shoulder, make a note of it, okay? But if you feel you're not noticing anything, then just a mental note. Go see your horse. And then if you get a twinge somewhere, think, oh, that wasn't there before. It could be you, the horse has brought your attention to part of you, which is physical at the minute. Or it could be the horse. It could be the animal that you've gone, you're near. It could be the horse saying or showing you, I'm sore here, or I'm struggling here, or something. And again, it doesn't matter if it's your imagination, just play around with it. It's practicing. You won't know what this means to you until you have a go at it. What I love to do when I go see a client is I love to get them to practice, have a go themselves. And I have got a few videos on here when I did a summer camp, horse camp, and it was an impromptu. And I've always got my phone with me because I like to take a picture of the client and the horse if they let me. And I just started to video, And I said, you have a go at this. And they connected with the horses. And it's lovely because the horses just relax. And you can see them just nodding their heads and their eyes softening. And then they go in and they go really still. And then they'll do a release. So you'll get similar responses. So a horse that's had a body work, you will have releases, you will have yawns, you will have stretches, you will have sometimes you have really big stretches, and sometimes you'll have subtle changes. If the horse is likes to just keep quiet and just feel herself without showing external all the time, or they're external all the time, that's what they do. My own horse is like that. Sometimes she will show you, but sometimes she just wants to just connect and do what she needs to do. And it's not, again, it's not all about the what you see, it's what you're feeling. And sometimes horses can look like they're asleep and they've got their eyes wide open, but they've really gone in. They've really gone in. And they're connecting with themselves, and then their eyes soften and close. So I'm not talking about the startled look, but they're almost like a glaze, but actually they're starting to go in and listen to the body and connect with themselves. So I think I'm going off track about here, but I just wanted to explain a little bit about it. And I find if I write things down and have a format, it's just better to let it flow. Because that's how I work as well. So if anybody has any questions, I'm going to start doing a live Q&A. I'm just going to chat, come on, if anybody wants to ask questions, probably every other Thursday or Friday. I'm not sure which day yet, but I'll do a post so that you can ask me questions and hopefully I can answer them. So it's about, when I say questions, not about a particular horse. It's just how, if anybody is interested and would like to know more about what is animal communication, what do I do, what does it mean to the client, because it's never just about the horse. In fact, it rarely is just about the horse, and it's about the person and what's going on with the person. The human element in their personal life affects, as you know, as horse owners know, it affects what's going on with you and the horse, but far more than you can ever imagine, far more. And you can't pretend that nothing's happening. You go see your horse. I'm leaving it at the back door. You can to a certain degree, but not totally, because you're still carrying some of that residue with you, and your horses are aware of that. And they might want you to address something within yourself, and that's what they can reflect. So if your horse is not being the way you'd like them to be, it might be that actually they want you to just think about what's going on with you first before you try and sort them out. And it's a partnership, and they have so much to share with us, all animals have so much to share with us. And once you start opening up your awareness, it's an amazing place to be, an amazing world, and it's limitless. Limitless. It can take you to many places, and again, that depends on how far you want to go. Not everybody wants to do what I do, but again, this is what you can use in your own life. It can help you make decisions in your own life. If you feel stuck and you think there must be more to life than this, there is. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be a millionaire by the end of the year. I mean, you might be. That might be part of your path. It's about taking what you can in that moment in time, experiencing it and seeing it for what it is. And if it's not what you want, about thinking, how do I change this? Do I need to take a big step now, or do I just need to start listening to myself first to see actually what is it I want to do? Where do I want to go? I have many thoughts that come through my head, and when I get excited, it's like a tsunami. It comes flooding in, and it's like, whoa, how is that going to happen? How is that going to happen? There's so many things, and then I think, I want to do them now. I want to do them now because time's ticking on. But again, time in our reality is a factor, because it could be that all the things in place to allow you to do what you need to do are not quite there. So even if you were ready, it's not time yet because of that. So it's not all to do with us. It's not like, what am I doing wrong? Why isn't it happening? It's not all about us. It's about the external things that need to be in place. And they need to be in place. And if it's other people, that they have their learning, their journey, and their time to get to where they need to be in order for you two to meet, or for your group to meet, or whatever it is. I hope I'm making sense. So that's why I came on today, just a little quick chat, just to say hello, and just to let you know how animal communication is not just about communicating with your animal. That's the start. But it can take you to many, many places. And the best thing is to help you see what you already have and how it can help you in your personal life, your work life, your life in general, and the impact that it has on you, how you see things, how you deal with things, how you react to things, and how you understand that your life before has molded you into who you are. But some of those things have helped you, but some of them are a hindrance, and they no longer serve you as the person you are today, because it holds you back from your full potential, whatever that may be. And it's whatever it is to you. It can be a massive thing, or you just want to be content in your life and be contented. Whatever it means to you, whatever it means to you, it is within your power. But it starts with listening to your own guidance. But quite often we listen what we need for our animals first, because we love them so much and we put so much effort, financial and emotional, into our animals, that we want to help them, we want to fix them. But again, that's not always the case. About fixing, it's about letting go of the outcome. Sometimes you have to let go of the outcome, but just be willing to do whatever it is you need to do. Yeah. So I think I'm just going to leave it there for now. Okay. Thank you for listening, for whoever's listened, whether it's now or replay. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a question after this video, and I'll get back to you. Once again, I'm going to be doing live Q&As so people can ask questions. Because like I said, my understanding of what I'm doing is not always what somebody else's is. They might have a different view and think, well, is this what happens? And I can say, okay, well, this is how it works for me. And as I'm explaining things, I'm talking about my own personal learning, my own knowledge, my own skill. Everybody works differently, but we all want the best, and we are all trying the best that we possibly can. And different elements come in and complement each other. So it's not about being better than somebody else or saying this is the way and not that way. It's combined. And at the end of the day, we're all working with energy, and that is the beauty of it. It all goes back to the source, back to the one thing. And we just have different ways of explaining it. And you will be drawn to what's more comfortable for you, what resonates with you. So have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, enjoy the sunshine, and enjoy your horses, enjoy your animals, and be kind to yourself and be gentle. And if I can help in any way by showing a bit of light onto intuitive guidance and what that actually is, then please feel free to drop me a question. Until next time, thank you very much for listening, and bye for now. Bye. Thank you.